Hey Bag Maker, today I'm going to be talking about Renaissance webbing. The Chickadee backpack sew along is entering week 2. Anna Maria Horner fabrics. The book review will be for a book called The Quilter's Cutting Guide, and I'll be demonstrating how to use magnetic snap dies for your rivet press. Hey everybody, happy Sunday and welcome to Sewcial Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a lot of fun things to talk to you about today, and everything that I'm scheduled to talk to you about I link to in the description. So if you're interested in finding out more about any of the books, fabrics, notions, or projects that I talk about during Sewcial Sunday, just check that link in the description and you can find out more information there. So I've been eagerly awaiting sharing some of tonight's items with you, especially the demonstration near the end of the show. But I'm going to jump right into the notion of the week. This is a new notion that we've just gotten into the shop, and we have it in stock right now. So Danny's going to switch to the overhead camera. So these are the new Tula Pink webbings from Renaissance Ribbons, and they're each 1.5 inch wide, and we're selling them by the yard, so you can choose however many yards you'd like. And we have all 6 of the colors in stock, and these are really nice. I've purchased other types of webbing from the store before, and they sometimes had a large weave or they felt really thin, but these webbings feel really substantial, almost like seatbelt strapping. And as you can see, the colors are really great and bright. I think either this green one's my favorite, or I really like the aqua one too. But again, depending on the fabrics that you're using for your project, one of these webbings might work. So if you're interested in checking these out, the link to them is in the description, and we have all 6 colors in stock now. Also, the Chickadee backpack sew along is entering week 2, and I wanted to share some different modifications that members of our Facebook group have been posting. Danny's going to put some pictures on the screen, and I'm going to let you know who made the modification, as well as there's links in the description if you're interested in taking a look at all of these particular makers' photos in our group. So the first photo is from Monica Ann. She made a modification for her Chickadee backpack to make the side pocket hold a container of baby wipes, and she added a flap to cover that opening so that when she didn't need to use it, the flap covers it, and there's also a swivel clip to keep everything contained. So I thought that modification by Monica Ann was super clever, and I like that it makes the Chickadee backpack even more usable as a baby diaper bag. So this next photograph is from Terry. She added a side strap to her Chickadee backpack. So the brown strap that you can see in the picture on the left-hand side, that's the side strap that she added. I have a free video demonstrating how to add a side strap to any bag or pouch, and that link is in the description in case you'd like to add a side strap to your Chickadee backpack. And then this third picture is from Sandy. And Sandy added, you can see in the bottom of the picture, she added a slip pocket for her laptop, and she added a flap to keep it sort of contained when her laptop was in that pocket. So I thought that was super clever as well. And again, if you're interested in checking out more photos from those 3 bags, you can check the description, and they are all listed there. And we do have the Dritz strap adjusters that you'll need for the backpack back in stock. The link is in the description, and the Dritz strap adjusters just make the backpack strap adjustable. So it has sort of a locking mechanism, so after you adjust it to whatever length that you need, when you're actually using the backpack, as you can see, I'm kind of giving it a tug, that strap won't slide back through the opening. So again, those are the Dritz strap adjusters needed for the backpack project, and I've linked to the Dritz strap adjusters in the description. All right, what else do we have? New fabrics that I've added to my stash. I've been waiting to share these with you on the show for a few weeks now, and these are new fabrics by Anna Maria Horner. The fabric line is called Love Always, and some of these are reprints from previous fabric lines. So Danny's going to switch over to the overhead camera so that I can share them with you. This is probably one of my most favorite prints ever. It's a large scale print with sort of a navy background. I really like the colors. Let me open it more so you can see some of the other florals. There's lots of large scale floral prints, and I just love the colors and the fact that the prints are so large in that fabric. Here's another one. A few years ago I made a shirt from this particular fabric in rayon. This one's actually quilting cotton, so I was happy to pick this up in the quilting cotton. This is that large scale print, but in a black background, so some of the flowers are in different colors, lots of blues, purples, and some corals in this particular fabric. Let me flip it over, see if we can find some, yeah, here's some other flowers contained in this particular fabric. And then here's the same print, but in a charcoal gray background. Super pretty. This next print is lots of pinks. There's butterflies, roses. This is a really nice one. As you can see, most of these are quite large as far as the scale of the print goes. And then here's that same print, but with the charcoal gray background. I really love these colors with the charcoal gray because the colors in the prints really pop in this fabric. All right, here's another print with some roses. These are sort of stripes going down the fabric. Let me open it up so that you can see it a little better. Yeah, so as you can see, the roses form sort of stripes down the fabric, and then here's the same print in a different colorway. And then this next print is sort of a burgundy background. I have just a couple more. Love this color. This teal in the leaves really pops. And then here's one more. So again, these are all from Anna Maria Horner's Love Always fabric line, and the link to the fabrics is in the description. So I have a question for you. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite flower? So as you can see, I showed a lot of different types of flowers on those fabrics from Anna Maria Horner. So let me know in the comments what your favorite flower is. Yesterday, I got a chance to do some baking, and I made salted honey chewy pumpkin cookies. Danny's going to put a picture from where I got the recipe. The cookies look delicious, and they had an option to use those sea salt flakes, which I did use them. Violet didn't really like the sea salt flakes on hers, so she kind of scraped them off, but the sea salt really brings out the flavor of the pumpkin and the spices in the cookies. I made a double batch just to make sure that we had enough cookies, but they were delicious. I really loved those cookies. So the link to the recipe is in the description in case you're interested in checking out that link after the show. And I have another question for you. Let me know what your favorite cookie is. So generally I tend to go for chocolate chip or chocolate type cookies, but the pumpkin cookies, it being fall, I felt like was a really nice change of pace. So the book review for this week is a book that someone emailed to me. Bev emailed me about this book a few weeks ago. It's called The Quilter's Cutting Guide, and basically it's a book with lots of charts to help you cut strips of fabric if you're a quilter. So Danny's going to switch to the overhead camera. There's not a lot that I could share from the book just because most of it is comprised of charts, but I'll give you a basic idea of what the book is about. So I do have some of these stripology rulers, which are helpful for cutting strips because you just place your rotary cutter in the cutouts and cut down the line. The thing about this is it's only in 1-inch measurements and every 1/2 inch. This book is helpful because it uses what's called the sliding ruler method, and so most of the book is comprised with charts, and here's an example. So for example, if you need to cut 2.5 inch strips, you take a look at how many strips that you need, and the chart also tells you how many cuts you'll get from that amount of strips cut. So for example, if you're cutting 3 strips, you'll get 48 finished squares. I liked this book. At first I wasn't sure what the book would be about, but then I looked through it some more and I realized it's a really helpful guide for cutting out your strips. So each of these different sections contains, for instance, cutting 1 1/8, 1 1/4, 1 3/8. So some of these measurements are a little bit tricky and not clean 1/2 inches like my stripology ruler, but I thought this was super clever. And I don't know about you if you're a quilter, but just about every quilt that I cut, I generally cut something wrong, and so this book helps kind of remove that margin of error. So there's explanations on how to square up your fabric, which will give you nice clean cuts. That's what this chapter is. How to actually cut out your strips by sliding your ruler along according to the measurements in the graphs. And so here's, as you can see, instructions are accompanied by full color illustrations. So most of the book, like I said, is those charts, which are basically like this, but for the different measurements. And I know for sure I'll definitely be using this in the future, especially for those tricky cuts like 3 3/8 of an inch and so on. So again, this book is called The Quilter's Cutting Guide, and it's about 80 pages long, so it's quite substantial. And I've linked to the book in the description in case you're interested in checking out more about it. So Danny's favorite part of the show, when he's not on it, we'd like to invite all of the bag makers to stand proud. Let us know in the comments that you're part of the Sew Sweetness squad, and both Danny and I are so happy that you're joining us for Sewcial Sunday. Thank you for tuning in, and of course, thank you for the likes and subscribes also. So I was super excited to present tonight's demonstration. I'll just have Danny flip to the overhead camera right off the bat. This is a die that I got for my rivet press to install magnetic snaps. This is what it looks like from the back side, kind of looks like a rivet. And traditional, you're probably aware, traditional magnetic snaps, you just open them out with prongs, but I was really excited to find an option for installing these on my rivet press. And Danny called my attention to this after he saw our friend Christy from Love You Sew installing this on her Instagram page. So I've linked to Christy's Instagram in case you're interested in checking it out. Let me share with you what the pieces are that I got for my press. So my press is purchased from Minkus Margot, but I actually got the dies for the magnetic snaps from the Cam Snaps website, and the die set comes with 3 die portions. This part you screw into the top, and this accommodates the back side where the curved portion is. And then there's 2 additional dies. One is for the male portion of the snap. This one has sort of like the hole in the middle, and this one's for the female portion of the magnetic snap. And then I needed to purchase an adapter, which the Cam Snaps website lets you know, depending on what press you have, what adapter you need. If you have a press similar to mine, if you got yours from Minkus Margot, perhaps you did, I linked to the exact adapter that I bought. So without the adapter, the pieces, they'll just fall through. So having the adapter is really important. Having that adapter is really important so that you can set your die inside. So let me first screw in the top portion. Again, this is the portion with the dome. Thank you, Danny. And then you'll just need to decide which die that you're going to start off with first. So I purchased a packet of silver snaps. The die, as well as the snaps, I chose 14 millimeters, which is 9/16 of an inch. That's just what I thought I would be using for bag making. And I'll take one of each piece out and I'll install. I prepared a piece of fabric attached to foam interfacing, and then I'll just install a couple of these on camera so that you can see how it works. Actually, I'm going to jump off my chair just to make sure I have enough leverage to push these down. Okay, so let's start off with the female portion of the magnetic snap with the opening. As you can see, you can test it on there first to make sure that you have the right part installed, and this just goes on the bottom. And I already used my rivet press to make some holes in the fabric. This is just fabric attached to foam interfacing. And then I've also gotten a couple of extra reinforcement pieces of interfacing. This is Decoville Heavy. You can also use Peltex. And I'm just gonna go ahead and, here's my fabric. Obviously you want the snap to be on the right side of the fabric. And then I'm going to go ahead and place this dome piece on the back side. Actually, obviously if you're using the interfacing, you'll want to slide that on first. And then again, the dome piece is the top of the rivet press, so I'm just going to go ahead and place it in the press, and then I'm going to push that down. As you can see, that's what it looks like installed and on the back. And then I'm just going to go ahead and swap out the die for the one for the male portion. Okay, so again, I'm going to place this on the right side of the fabric. Actually, I'll place it down here. On the wrong side, I'm going to place that little scrap of interfacing, and then one of the dome pieces. Okay, again, I'm just going to go ahead and slide that on the press and then push down. Okay, as you can see, it just took a few seconds to get those installed, and they're secure just like any regular magnetic snap. So again, I've linked to the die set as well as that adapter that I used in my press. Links are in the description. If you have a press and you're not sure what kind of press you have, what adapter that you'll need, I would suggest, and I've also made a note about this in my blog post, I would suggest contacting the seller and checking first before purchasing, just to make sure that you're getting the correct items. But if you have a press from Minkus Margot, the items linked to in the description, that's what I've purchased. And I feel like this is sort of a game changer. I was really excited to see that magnetic snaps could be installed in a rivet press. And I was telling my friend the other day, I probably won't go back to installing the traditional magnetic snaps with the prongs, just because I now have this die for my rivet press. So I hope you enjoyed that demonstration, and especially if you have a rivet press, check out those links after the show. So normally now we have live questions. However, I've been feeling under the weather today. I really did not want to cancel the show, but my brain, I feel, is not going to be quick enough to answer live questions, so I apologize for that. I'll be back again next Sunday with Danny on the show, and I'll be answering live questions then. I did want to, one last thing, the giveaway. The winner of last week's giveaway was Laura Hendricks Philbeck, so congratulations to Laura. And the giveaway prize for today is a $40 gift certificate to sewsweetness.com, so you can use it on a variety of things, perhaps some of these new Renaissance webbings. You have until the end of the day this Saturday to leave a comment wherever you watch the show, either on Facebook or YouTube. And I have one more question for you to give you an extra opportunity at an entry. What's your favorite TV show? Let me know in the comments. We have really been enjoying lately. It just wrapped up. Actually, if you have Hulu, there's a show called Only Murders in the Building, and I super loved it. It was a really great show. Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez are in the show, and we watched it with Violet. William wasn't super interested, but it's a really great show. So thank you so much for joining me for Sewcial Sunday. I hope you have a great week and happy sewing. Bye, everybody.